It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another fantastic Friday, and it's fantastic because you're up with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
Good morning. I'm Tamika Cartwright, filling in for Davriel Gardner.
Welcome, Tammy. Welcome to the show officially.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So excited to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. We've heard great things about you.
Ooh.
And the viewers couldn't wait to see who was going to fill in for Dav while she's out. Dav, we wish you all the best. We know that you're going out to do one of the most important things one can do, and that is to bring forth life. So we wish you the best, you and your husband Drew, and look forward to meeting the newest addition to the Garden of Clan, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Can't wait to see the little one maybe on set.
Hey, a superstar is born. And, and speaking of, big bellies, Thanksgiving was yesterday, so
Oh, my
everybody
gosh.
must be walking around with that post-Thanksgiving hangover, that itis, that
Yes.
24-hour itis.
Yes.
Do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yes, I do actually. So yesterday we had, I guess you'd call it a Friendsgiving.
All right.
So we did the thing with the friends, and then on Sunday we'll do the thing with the family. So yeah, pretty excited. But yeah, I mean, like, what a day to be starting, because the waistline, I'm like, Lord have mercy, going on TV like, ah.
Yeah, I almost put on my stretchy pants this morning, but I didn't have too much food yesterday, but it was good. Not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving, though, so
Yeah.
For those who don't, happy Genocide of Indigenous Peoples Day. We can't forget, what the real story is behind Thanksgiving to other people. But for those who gather for the sake of giving thanks to what you've got, giving thanks to what's to come, celebrating family, and giving to the needy, we are so grateful, and we hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. And we got some birthday shout-outs. We can't run too far. So, birthday shout-outs. We're going to start with Justice Aubrey is one today. That is the granddaughter of Joan Aubrey here at TCL. We also got Justin Aubrey and Fred Aubrey. All the Aubreys born around this week, eh? Their birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. Another lap around the sun. Also, Byron Ferguson. That's the son of Margaret Aubrey here in the set. All the Aubreys born in November, it look like. Enjoy your birthday and celebrate it to the fullest. And anybody else celebrating, enjoy your weekend. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to be hearing an update from the Bahamas Professional Golfers Association. We're also going to have a roundtable discussion, and you want to tune into that. And Gowan Bowe is also here to discuss the housing crisis.
Yep, and we'll also be hearing about the Stapleton Gardens jollification, and we're also going to talk about UB's Alumni Awards. All right.
All that and more. But first, let's check on weather with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Mark. And good morning, Bahamas. Your first look at weather at sunrise. We have some troughing over the southeastern islands, Maguane, Nauru, Crooked Island, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, and that's producing some cloudiness showers and some isolated thunderstorms in that area through today. But high pressure downwind across the northwest and central Bahamas, lots of sunshine, and some warm temperatures. So today, we're looking at partly sunny and mild over the northwest and central Bahamas, partly cloudy with a few showers over the southeastern islands. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds and cool over the northwest and central Bahamas, partly cloudy with a few showers over the southeastern islands. Your low going down to 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 88 and 80. In Jamaica, 86 and 77. In Trinidad, 88 and 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 86 and 72. Across North America, Atlanta, 51 and 31. In Boston, 48 and 32. In Miami, 80 and 69. Dallas, Texas, 59 and 39. And Toronto, Canada, 38 and 31. As you go to the week, we have a weak cold front that move through sometime on Saturday morning, early across the extreme northwest Bahamas, no problems by later in the morning. And a second front to move through sometime on Sunday morning, Sunday evening into Monday morning, and that's going to be a couple of clouds with it and some reinforcing cold air. So I have that front, those temperature to be in the low east at daytime, and the upper 60s at nighttime. The second front, upper 70s daytime, mid 60s at nighttime. That was a wrap. Your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Tammy.
Thank you, Godfrey. World AIDS Day, observed annually on December 1st, is a time to unite in the fight against HIV and AIDS. With me now are Arame Ford-Strawn, President of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, and Dr. Carolyn Smith-McKenzie, Vice President of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. Welcome, ladies. How are we doing today? Y'all look so nice. I'm loving it, and the pins and the red and everything else.
A lot of effort went into it. Looking nice this early.
Of course, right? All right, well, welcome, welcome. So tell us a little bit about the mission of and the work at the Bahamas AIDS Foundation.
Okay, so at the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, we are an NGO, and our aim is to support people living with HIV and AIDS, their families, and to amplify public awareness to prevent new infections. We also work very closely with the HIV Center and other agencies that work in the fight against HIV and AIDS. So our job is to really champion the response to the disease.
Okay, and then World AIDS Day. Tell us about this, the significance of that.
So World AIDS Day has been celebrated for many, many years. And this year, the theme of World AIDS Day is Take the Right Path. Each year, they select a theme that is suitable for the population of persons who are infected with HIV. And so this particular theme highlights the importance of ensuring that persons who are positive and persons who are at risk for HIV are ensured access to services because of the human rights approach. And so this means when they go to the clinics, when they go to seek care anywhere, they're not stigmatized, they're not discriminated against, and they're offered services as if a person who's not HIV positive.
Yeah, and that's so important, right? I mean, I think there is that stigma, and sometimes people feel very, very concerned about coming forward, obviously. So what are some of the initiatives of the event that the foundation is hosting this World AIDS Day?
Yeah, so this afternoon, rather this evening, our first event will be the Candlelight Vigil.
Okay.
And the vigil is an opportunity for us to reflect and to remember those persons who have died from HIV and AIDS. We had a lot of persons in many years past who would have died from AIDS-related illnesses. And I can say today that the number of persons who continue to die from AIDS-related illnesses has drastically increased. And so we are proud of that. Okay. And so the Candlelight Vigil, yes, decreased. Yes, okay. So the Candlelight Vigil will highlight those persons who did die, those persons who continue to live, and the persons who care for them as well. And that is at 6 p.m. this evening at the Ministry of Health and Wellness's courtyard.
Okay, and is that open to everyone?
And that's open to the public.
Can anyone come? Okay.
And then we have a final event, which is tomorrow, our Sunrise Move and Shake, which is in the morning, beginning at 6 a.m. at our key.
I like how you call it Move and Shake at 6 a.m.
Yes, Sunrise Move and Shake.
Okay.
And ROA will speak to who our persons who will be participating in the event.
Yeah, please tell us.
We'll have J Fitness, we'll have Vanessa, the Zumba Queen.
Yes, she is a Zumba queen.
Yes,
she'll get you going.
And we'll have a cool down by Mrs. Chandra Sawyer, sorry.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so we're inviting the public to come out and exercise with us. We're not going to have the fun run walk. We were going to have Zumba and some fitness and just a really good time.
Okay.
There's going to be Heineken 00 out there, you know, so some nice refreshing beer donated by Commonwealth Brewery. And we just want to have a good time. We want to highlight the importance of staying healthy, you know, moving your body, and just really, it's just an initiative to bring more awareness to the AIDS, the fight against HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, and how would you say that we're doing in that fight?
Well, I would like to think, I'm certain that most Bahamians now, we don't want to talk about HIV and AIDS. It's not as prevalent as it was in the 80s.
Right.
And, you know, people were dying, people were picketing for care and for access to care. The government of the Bahamas graciously provides free medication to everybody who is positive, and so, which is really great, and we're light years ahead of other countries in that regard. And so people just don't want to talk about it. We want to pretend as if it doesn't exist. But it does exist.
Yeah.
We do have new infections, and I'm heartbroken every time I hear of a new infection, simply because it can be avoided. There's access to PrEP and PEP, and we just need to be honest about our lifestyles. Have an open and honest conversation with your physician. If you're not comfortable, you can go to a physician that works with this disease or infectious diseases, and just get on the medication. Just have responsible sexual behavior. We focus a lot at the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, and I'm proud of the work. We will continue the work. We focus a lot on children infected and affected, but ask yourself, how do these children become infected?
Exactly.
It's because of the irresponsible behavior of adults, right? And so it's important for us to amplify awareness and education to adults to prevent new contractions and to get those infected on medication, life-saving medication, that will have them viral suppressed. That way they cannot or will not transmit the disease if they stay adherent to the medication.
Yeah, so important. So just before we wrap up, can you just let us know, how can individuals get involved in supporting the foundation's work?
Yes, so you can reach out to the foundation. Our phone contact is 325-9326. We have a social media presence on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, this time of the year, we are prevalent, we are all over. We have recently had our Red Ribbon Ball, and so persons know who the AIDS Foundation is. And I just wanted to highlight our Junkanoo pin.
Ooh,
it's a red
Junkanoo
ribbon,
pin.
and we have a little twist on it with our Junkanoo logo at the end, and I would like to pin you this morning
Oh, that is
in recognition
so cool.
of World AIDS Day.
All right, let's see. I guess we gotta come this way. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I didn't know I was gonna get pinned officially on my first day.
So we thank you for having us this morning.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, ladies, for joining us here today
Thank you.
on Bahamas at Sunrise. So exciting.
Thank
All right,
you.
we'll be back, everyone.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Hi, Kevin. How can I help you?
Is it true this institution isn't doing too well? Should I move my money since I have a business and personal savings account?
Don't worry about the gossip. Banks are regulated, so the chances of this institution failing is slim, and your deposit accounts are protected. We are members of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, so your deposits are protected up to a maximum of $50,000.
What if I have more? My business account has a little over $100,000 in it. Will I get my remaining funds if the bank fails?
Yes, through the process of liquidation, which is when the bank's assets are sold over time to repay its creditors, like yourself.
Well, I learned something new today.
My advice is to diversify your financial portfolio across different account types, different member banks, and credit unions. Help us to protect you by protecting yourself.
To learn more, visit our website, dic.bs, for more information.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts.
Welcome back. Joining me now to give us a brief update about Bahamas professional golfing, Glenn Pratt. He is the president of the Bahamas Professional Golfers Association. And we also have Warren Wilson. He is the controller of the Bahamas Golf Federation. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Welcome back.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Happy to be here.
I heard golf and I was expecting you guys to come in full golf attire, golf clubs, and we're going to do some putting around here, but we know where to find you guys. Next time, right? So let's roll in. For those who don't know, tell us a little bit about the Bahamas Professional Golfers Association, and you can tell us Federation and Association. Tell us.
The Bahamas Professional Golfers Federation has been incorporated now. It's newly developed. You know, we were at one point an association, and we went through the process of legislation to get to the point now where we're authorized by the Attorney General's office and the Auditor General's office as of April the 19th, 2024. So we're in a good position to now create legislation for golf here in the Bahamas, which will provide us the opportunity to help the government to create policies that benefits the Bahamian public in general, along with the professional golfers.
So what was the association up to, and now the federation? What has been happening, and what's planned?
Well, the association is no longer, so there's no longer Bahamas Golf Association. There's the Bahamas Professional Golf Association Federation. And what we're looking for, what we're doing now is preparing, like I said, the legislation and all that stuff, and to get the golfers in a position where we can create a lot of scholarships, network around the world now to provide opportunities for our young men. People, as you know, we're automatically, as a country, young people are just dominating in everything we get into. So we're just trying to create a platform for them to be the best that they can be in and representing our country.
And that's fantastic. You know, the legislation is needed, the organization needed to evolve. Tell us a little bit about who's involved and what are some of your upcoming events and activities?
We just recently conducted an event at the Ocean Club. The president was not as active in this particular event, so he passed it on so that we get some of our senior members of the board involved. This was a qualifying event for Bahamians to participate in international events. So we had a qualifier here in Nassau, and we had a qualifier as well in Abaco. So we're proud to have that event. We're proud that that went well. So the entire goal of the Federation is to continue programs like this. It's a non-profit organization, so we get our funds pretty much from donation, grants, and events that we hold, as well as membership. So the entire goal is to bring the young people and golfers into the country into an environment where they can excel.
And that's very important. And, you know, when I was in high school, there were maybe a handful of my classmates that knew anything about golf.
Yeah.
I'm sure that has changed now. When you drive past on Saturdays, you see kids with the golf clubs, you see parents out. There's a supportive network. What's the current status of golf in the country, and what's next?
When it comes to the amount of golfers, and junior golfers in particular, we have more than enough young people involved in golf to create the atmosphere and to develop golf here in this country. What we don't have in place is the Bahamian professional at the golf courses. So access to golf courses is still a major problem as it relates. And the main thing is having the Bahamian professional at the golf courses to do coaching on a regular basis, not just on weekly programs or monthly programs, but every day. Golf is a very demanding game, and the access has to be there. Fortunately, back in the 70s and 80s, you know, we had that access. It was mandated that there should be a Bahamian resident golf professional at every golf course. That hasn't happened in over 30 years. We're right now, because of the Federation, the government recognizes Federation where they don't recognize association. So that was one of the main reasons we had to transfer from association to Federation as a professional organization, so that we can create not just the atmosphere of tournaments and scholarships, but also just being there to tutor these kids in different ways. Also, one of the major things that we're preparing is to create a kind of a Carifta type atmosphere in professional golf, to where we can now start competing with professional golfers from around our region. And that, as you know, it happened in track and field. We got the fastest, our region has the fastest runners in the world. And I feel that if once we get kicked off with our regional professional golf challenges here, we'll have the best golfers in the world.
I agree.
You know how competitive Jamaica and the Bahamas and Barbados, St. Kitts, Trinidad, and all them are. So once we start competing, it's going to elevate these kids who want to compete for their country now to move up into the professional ranks and also develop a market for Bahamian professional golfers to just take over, because we're capable of running golf courses. We really don't need anyone here to run a golf course. I mean, come on, we're running a country, so we can run a golf course. So that's what we're kind of looking forward to in the future. But that's not right around the corner, but at least we're starting the process of elevating to that position.
Yeah, it's the roadmap, and like you said, it's important that Bahamian golfers have access, that we're involved in all aspects of the industry, and we continue to grow. And maybe that's why they want to keep us off the course. They know that we coming to win up everything. I see you have some hardware here. Do you want to show us what you got?
What I brought, because I haven't been yet. I know y'all were very nice to me before I got the Hall of Fame, so I wanted to show off my Hall of Fame trophy.
There you go.
While we're here. And this happened on May, well, the date is there. I'm not sure now the date myself.
Yeah, May 26th.
Yeah, and what happened is 2 weeks after, about a month after, I got inducted to the Hall of Fame, and I'm the first Bahamian and the first professional athlete in the history of the Bahamas to be inducted into International Professional Golfers Hall of Fame. And I'm proud to be that first, and that will never change. I'll always be the first.
Very well deserved, and we send congratulations again. It's good to be the first.
Yeah.
You know, before we go, just how can people find out more information about the Federation and get involved?
Well, the Federation, we have a board that's already set up, and we have a website. We're going to provide that information to you so that we can have access to everybody and phone contacts for everybody who wants to get involved. But the Ministry of Tourism is one of our primary contacts to get involved with the Federation. And of course, Mr. Pratt and myself will provide contacts for everybody to reach out to us.
Fantastic. And after the show, everybody's going to be swarming you guys. We're going to take over the golf courses, ready to take the Bahamian golf profession to the next level.
Let me just clarify when we said the Ministry of Tourism. The Ministry of Tourism provided this opportunity for the young Bahamian persons in the Corn Ferry Golf Tour. For the exemptions that we just had.
Well, we give thanks to them.
And
all of their assistance.
And so we want to definitely give thanks to the Ministry of Tourism and the Corn Ferry Golf Tour, also the Ocean Club Golf Course, provided the golf course for us to have it. And so I want to thank them very much.
We're thankful to the entire Golf Village, and we got to run, but we got to meet you guys on the golf course soon, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You can just hold that up as we go, and you can show that off.
This year is a month after I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. I was given this award to become the first Bahamian and the first professional golfer to represent the African American golfers community worldwide. So I am the ambassador for the African American professional golfers worldwide.
Congratulations again
Thank you.
on all your successes. Congratulations on the formation of the Federation, and we're looking for wonderful things for golf here in the country.
Thank you very much.
Let's go hit the tees, everybody.
All right,
thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hey family, step into sophistication at Dash Designer Boutique, number 13 Parliament Street. There you find a wide array of colorful, elegant fashion for ladies. Shop brand name clothing and shoes such as McDougall, Badgley Mishka, Sam Elderman, Jeffrey Campbell, and Jessica Simpson. We've got you covered for the office, date night, red carpet events, and more. Also check out our stunning accessories. That's Dash Designer Boutique, number 13 Parliament Street. Open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
I can't believe how big Christopher's gotten. He'll soon be ready for college.
Not at the rate I'm going. I'm praying for an athletic scholarship.
It's never a bad time to start saving. I just started Nicole on a college savings plan. I have options based on her age. It contains a mix of stocks, bonds, however you choose.
Mommy, come push me.
I'm coming.
Girl, how do you know all of this? What's Leno?
Welcome back. Stapleton Gardens Neighborhood Watch will be hosting their 4th annual Christmas Jollification. And here to talk with us are Jewett Smith, the president of Stapleton Gardens Neighborhood Watch, and Philip Higgs, the board member of the Stapleton Gardens Neighborhood Watch. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Welcome.
All right, so tell me, what inspired the creation of this event?
This was inspired about 4 or 5 years ago by the community neighborhood watch, that this is something that can bring community together at this time, that will involve persons that would have had a very incidental year, you know, that we come together now to celebrate and honor those in the community. That's what it's all about. We're honoring those in the community and having a good time.
Okay, and you call it a jollification, right? A Christmas jollification. So what else is going to be taking place?
We're going to have this year is themed Candyland. Okay,
Ooh.
so we have an elf house in our park that we transform into this. We're going to be transformed this big Candyland. So you come there and you get candies all night. Okay,
Wow.
with big balls of candies all across our park, lights all around the trees and whatnot. So it's going to brighten your evening.
Awesome, and anyone can come to this?
Anyone can come.
Wow, and does the community get together to put this Candyland in place?
Absolutely, the community gets together. This is everything inspired, pushed, accelerated by the community. This is the time, you know, this time of the year, depression is down, okay? Specifically during this time. So we, you know, try to bring the joy back into the community as far as the Christmas is concerned. So with that, we were then partnered with the world famous Valley Boys Junkanoo Group.
Okay.
Okay, that their leader, Winston Gus Cooper, is a resident, being a long-time resident, one of the first residents of our community. So what better way to honor this icon?
Right, and are they going to be doing that chant? Because I know Valley Boys is that dun 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 dun. Okay, dun 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 dun. Who are we? I mean, like when they start, this time's like everyone's up. You know what? We don't say no politics, no Junkanoo politics. But yeah, I know the group very, very well. All right, so what makes this year's Jollification so special? I mean, you said the Candyland. What else is there?
We are honoring those that has come before us,
okay,
who is here with us now, and who's coming behind us. Specifically, posthumously, the former ambassador, Alma Adams, persons like the likes of Norma Williams, persons like the like of Devon Charlton. Absolutely. These persons will be hailed. It's a group of other community members. Margaret Group of Companies, who's one of our sponsors. ASU Draw, we thank them, okay? These persons we're gonna honor in a big way, to say thank you for being with us for all these years and sticking with us through all of our yearly initiatives.
Okay, and what can people look forward to in years to come?
This to continue.
Okay.
And it's going to just get better. I'm on the stage exiting out now, so those who come after me is going to build with this, and it's going to even be greater for years to come.
Awesome, and is there an entry fee? Do we have to pay to come to this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's free.
Absolutely
Well,
not.
we love free.
Absolutely not.
We love free.
I am going to say to you that we're going to have our streets closed off when it's time for the Junkanoo. So the police are going to block up our streets. This is the only time of the year that they come from out of their Pacific area to do this. Okay? So we're going to block up our streets and we're going to have a good old Junkanoo time in Stapleton Gardens.
That sounds like fun. And I'm looking at your shirt too, Stapleton Gardens Crime Watch. So there's a crime watch as well then.
This is what this is a crime
This is
watch.
what you do.
This is what we do.
I love the shirt.
Yeah,
It's so
so
cool.
it's more than just patrolling around and looking for persons doing mischief. We are here to bring community together.
And that's so important.
Okay,
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, so important. So just, you know, you said the event is taking place when? Just give us the details. When's it happening? Where do we go specifically? I know you said that things are going to be blocked off. How do we get there? Where do we go?
It's going to be December 5th, 7 p.m., McKinney Avenue. You can just come on the, drive on McKinney out to the park. You're going to have ample parking all around the site. So it's nothing to worry about parking. Police are going to be there in full force.
Okay, all right. And all ages? Anything specific for the kids?
Candies.
Candies. Lots of candies. Anything else you want to add?
Oh yes, we also like to thank the Royal Bahamas Police Force for their support, especially the Grove Station and stuff throughout the years and the years to come, because they always have our back and they always there for us.
Okay, and you know, I just wanted to ask one last question too. When you said that you were honoring all these people, so who decides who gets honored?
It's the community.
Okay.
The community decides who gets honored.
Okay.
We started as a board initially, but then the community got involved to decide who these persons are.
Okay.
And it's most persons are our seniors, mostly, that we honor because we stand on their shoulders.
That's right. That's right.
We
They are
stand on their
legacy, right?
shoulders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, gentlemen, it was absolutely awesome chatting with you. Good
Yeah.
luck. I mean, I hope to get out there. You said there's candy, so I'm going to be there as well.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. So update early on another fantastic Friday, and we're at the mid-show, and you stuck with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
I'm Tamika Cartwright, filling in for Davriel Gardner.
We hope you enjoyed the first half of the show. We had a packed show for you today. I enjoyed my conversation with the Bahamas Professional Golfers Federation, and you had a couple of good conversations.
That's right. The team from the World AIDS Day was here, and guess what? They pinned me.
My pin here too, but I want a pin.
We got to pin you.
Yeah, pin me.
And it's a Junkanoo pin. Right,
is.
so it's got like a little Junkanoo flag there, so it's super cool.
Yeah, yeah. And we celebrate all the work of the AIDS Foundation. They had their Red Ribbon Ball recently, and so make sure to look out for them and support all the initiatives that they have going on, right? And also Stapleton Gardens, Jollification. You know, I grew up in Stapleton, so y'all go support the thing.
You're going to be there?
I can be right
with the kids?
With all four of them.
With all
I
four
almost
of
say
them?
all 20 of them. I got 20, just four.
There's going to be candy.
There is candy.
Yes.
No, kids don't need candy. That's a long night.
That's a long day.
Yeah. But we thank you for sticking with us, and we got more coming up in our second half. We're going to be having a roundtable discussion with C.A. Nuri and Natario McKenzie. You want to make sure you tune in for that. We're also going to have Gowan Bow here to talk about the housing crisis.
That's right, and we also have the team from UB is also going to be here. They'll be talking about their alumni awards, and it's a soiree, apparently.
We love UB always throws great events. But before we get to all that, let's find out what's happening with weather this weekend with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather sunrise. And let me welcome Tommy to the show. I told you didn't welcome Tommy. Welcome Tommy to the show. In second look at weather sunrise, the tropics, and this is the last one, tropical outlook for the year 2024, because we end the hurricane season tomorrow. The tropics remain quiet, and tropical cyclone formation expected during the next 7 days. On the local scene, troughing across the southeastern islands will produce some showers, isolated thunderstorms, some cloudiness, little breezy conditions over the next day or two, and then high pressure to the north of us will also give us some pretty good weather. But we do have two reinforcing cold fronts, one on Saturday morning and the second late Sunday night. In the marine forecast today, winds light and variable, seas 1 to 3 for all the islands. Then tomorrow, behind that cold front, winds northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet, falling light and variable at times. And then on Sunday, northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet, or the central and southeastern islands. Your tides, currently you have a high tide, that happened at 6:19 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 42 minutes past midday. High gain this evening at 639. Sunset 519 this evening, rising more at 637. UV index 7. Your water temperature 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and your moon phase now moving towards the new moon. Your extended look, cool front moves late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Little fanfare in that particular one. And then a second cool front moves through late Sunday night into Monday morning. We have some showers along with that system and also some reinforcing cool air for next week. Temperature daytime, ahead of that front will be in the low 80s at daytime and the upper 60s at nighttime. After a second front passes, we're looking at the upper 70s daytime and the mid 60s at nighttime. That puts a wrap in your fall. Look about that sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. Now we're going to have a special segment which we call the Round Table Discussion, where we invite some of our friends into the studio to discuss the current state of affairs in the country. Today we're going to be talking about the economy, VAT, crime, and whatever else might come up. Joining us, we have C.A. Nuri. He's a blogger and political pundit. And we also have Mr. Gowan Bowe. He's the CEO of Fidelity Bank and Trust. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, gentlemen.
Morning, man. Bubbly for early morning, but it's always good to be on the program.
Thank God for caffeine. Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate y'all being here. We know there's a lot been happening this week in the country, in the world. Let's just kind of jump in on, let's say, the state of the economy. If there was a general statement to give, where are we at in the economy? We're in November 2024. Where are we at?
You know, I would say we're on an upward trajectory, but I would be cautious because I think sometimes we oversell where we are. That are we on a downward trajectory? No. So that's the positive. Are we at the pinnacle? No. And do we have a long climb? Yes. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, right? And so I think from that perspective, if we look, we're seeing positive numbers in tourism, although we're not getting the spend out of some of it, right? We're seeing new development starting to take place. We're hearing about improvement in employment, but still not yet back to pre-pandemic employment numbers in terms of people working. So I think we have to be balanced and measured, but be optimistic that at least we're heading in the right direction, and just be cautious that we are not at a resilient state where one external shock could not have a detrimental effect. And so if we prepare ourselves, as they say, make hay whilst the sun shines.
Exactly, right? So we know about the numbers. CA, what's the word on the street? How are people feeling? You think people feeling confident in this economy, especially coming into this Christmas season?
Money is spending. If you go to the malls, the stores, Bahamians are spending money. Loans are being given out. You see that people are buying houses. I see there was commentary about that there is an uptick of people purchasing their homes. So that's always a good sign. Once you see Bahamians spending money, it means that the money is trickling down, even though there is some frustration in terms of how much money is trickling down, how much Bahamians are having access to it. But things are trending upwards. Any kind of trending upwards is something to be positive and happy about. But in terms of thinking that it's something that we need to be overly concerned about, I don't think so. I think Bahamians are quite comfortable with what is happening now, just that they want more money to feel their pockets.
Right? Everybody wants a little bit more in their pocket to feel like they're a bit more financially secure. You're speaking about trending. What else is trending right now, let's say, in the minds of the Bahamian people? So we talk about the economy. We're moving into the Christmas season. What's some of the important things people are discussing right now?
The economy is always important. And Gowan is the person to speak on that in the economy and economics. Crime is something Bahamians are always up and about and alarm about. Jobs is something that people are trending on as also. But Bahamians just want to have optimism about being Bahamian. And I think that our government needs to take advantage of that in terms of explaining why we are a great country, explaining what we can do for our country in general, right? And I think we need some more feel-good avenues to have us march forward. And I think there is a number of frustration and anxiety amongst us. And I think with us concentrating on what we are doing positively in the Bahamas will propel for us and make us feel more comfortable.
Yeah, you mentioned the term that feel good. There's been a lot in the news recently that hasn't allowed us to feel good. And whether that's been crime, local crime, international crime, other things impacting the Bahamas. As an everyday citizen, how do you feel about the current state of crime in the country?
Well, you know, just before that, I would say to what CA spoke about, and I know it always seems like I repeat the same thing, National Development Plan. What he said is we want something to be proud of as Bahamian. And the issue is we need to have a national identity. We need to be able to say, what is it that makes us uniquely proud to be Bahamian? So, and the pillars of the National Development Plan has the social, the economic, the built-in natural environment and governance. And to the point, coming to your own, one of them is social, and that's crime. We are always dismayed at the level of crime, but one of the cabinet ministers, whilst it may not be taken well, is right. We are breeding what we are seeing. And so it is only a microcosm of our wider society. I think we sometimes, as long as it doesn't touch us, we don't get as emotional. When it touches us, we tend to now flip the switch, right? And we have to be mindful that the world is watching us. Not just us, the world is watching one another. And when we do things domestically, it is not good enough to say, well, it only happens here, because it is demonstrated that it is a criminal mindset. And now we're seeing that this is actually spilling outside of our borders. And now we're upset because we're thinking about the reputation. But if we say, as long as they're putting food on my table, I know how you make your business, but I'm not concerned, that's a problem. If we say, well, I know there's a bad man, I know he's traveling with his tool, but you know, he's take care of this yard or he protects this one, so it's okay, that's not. We have to get back to, you know, I remember the days as a young child, I used to think I'd get away, I'd break a pipe, and no one saw me, so I got away. When I get home, I getting beaten because the neighbors saw me do it and called over and said, look at what he did. So we have to start taking care of one another, but making sure that we mete out the right punishment, because I don't believe it's beating us into submission. It's more about saying, if we're not in it together, as they say, united we stand, divided we fall.
Right? And again, you know, we want to feel secure as Bahamians. We want to feel secure in our homes, in our country. But we also want to feel like we're contributing to the solution. So when we talk about crime and we see the headlines that pop up, you know, what can the everyday citizen do? I know people are feeling frustrated, but you and I who move about on the streets every day, who may not be in the offices locked away from the reality, what are the things that we can do to help support this, to help solve this crime issue, to be our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper?
Well, we need to be vested. Vested in the Bahamas, vested in improving the Bahamas, right? As little as it may, simple thing as volunteering, simple thing as being a part of some civic organization. I don't think that enough Bahamians are participating in what it is, what is needed to develop this country. And sometimes we just need avenues, we need avenues to plug in. We just don't know what to do. So perhaps there needs to be an educational program, say all of these activities, all of these organizations available, right? And you can plug yourself into it, you can make yourself available, you can add your talent and skills to this, and this will eventually build our nation and develop us. So perhaps that needs to be done, an educational form where we're saying that we are here together, we're all in this boat. You might just be baiting the hook, and that's your job. You just bait the hook, and someone might just be bailing with water.
Right. And again, it seems to speak to this idea of the village, that we're supporting each other, that we're looking out for each other. Do you think that that's gone? Do you think that's a time past?
Well, you know, I say for Bahamians, you want to see passion in Bahamians, Junkanoo and politics. So we have one coming up, right? Junkanoo. My household is divided because there's a strong Valley boy, and then there's another group somewhere over the hill, you know, the ones there. But I think Bahamians, and to CA's point, we need a way to connect. See, the Junkanoo allows us to get into the shack. It allows us to be amongst our friends and family and get into spirited rivalry. But the truth is, all of the guys who are in Junkanoo is a little bit like the politicians. They argue on Bay Street, but they are artisans who love what they do, and they will talk amongst themselves. So we need to take that same enthusiasm and put it into other things. When we had conversations about VAT, we saw that coming together on a negative and it turned positive. When we have issues of importance, I think it's saying, well, if we can get passionate about Junkanoo and politics, how do we take that same level of patriotism and enthusiasm and infuse it into some of the national issues that are arising.
Very wonderful point. You know, we have to rally around a cause, rally around the thing that ties us together, Junkanoo politics, and we know about the CYC community.
Yes.
So we're going to say, care for your country. That's the new CYC, right?
I love that, actually. Yeah.
Care for your country.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we can talk all morning, but I appreciate you being here for our roundtable discussion, providing insights from both of your perspectives. And we'll invite you back again. There's always more to talk about. And thanks again for being here, Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for being here. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. CYC, care for your country. We'll be right back.
In the Bahamas, we're connected by more than just our islands. Now we're connected by Sand Dollar. It moves with you across many digital wallets. It doesn't matter if you use Bank of the Bahamas, Cash and Go, Island Pay, Canoe, Mobile Assist, MoneyMax, Suncash, or Omni. Sand Dollar, one currency and many wallets. It's inclusive, convenient, secure, and uniquely Bahamian. Embrace the future. Available for everyone on all Bahamian digital wallet apps.
Focal Holdings Limited is proud of its consistent growth and the financial success it continues to bring to many Bahamians who invest in the company. Focal is committed to ensuring optimal financial performance for its shareholders. Focal's leadership remains focused on superior customer service and operational excellence across all sectors. Focal, fueling growth for people.
Welcome back. The lack of affordable housing has become a major issue for many Bahamians as the cost of housing continues to rise. Here to talk with us, we're continuing our conversation with our good friend Gowan Bowe. He is the CEO of Fidelity Bank Bahamas. Welcome back.
Just right in front.
All right, let's jump right in.
Yeah.
It's been proposed that we need more homes to solve this housing crisis. Do you agree with that?
You know, I don't wholeheartedly agree with that. I think we have a tremendous amount of unproductive housing in the country. When we look at the distressed property situation that we have, the question you have to ask yourself is, do we need more homes or do we need more better use of the structures that we have? Because if you drive around town, and one of the larger developers said to me, you know, it's disappointing the level of dilapidation that we're seeing in some of these structures. Now, when I say kind of don't agree, is saying that we may need more, but we need to first clear that backlog. And that is doing things that the average citizen doesn't appreciate.
Right.
A bank doesn't lend money to buy a home, meaning the bank lends you money. It doesn't seek to have an interest in the home. So when you default, the collateral that you pledged is the home. Banks have no interest in being property owners. They would like that to be sold to someone else, or they would like you to be able to restore payments, etc. So when you have this significant amount of backlog in distressed properties, that means there are bad loans attached to it. When you have these bad loans, that means there's money that the bank could be deploying elsewhere that is being tied up in infrastructure that it does not wish to own. And that's a problem that we have to resolve and see how we can address for the betterment of the country.
So what do you propose to be the roadmap for taking advantage of distressed properties?
I know politically is always very challenging because from any government, they see it as, well, I have to put people out of homes. But if a person is in a home and unable to pay the mortgage, it means that they actually need some form of assistance. They either need to step down because maybe it's too big, or they need government social assistance.
Right.
So why are we not addressing the root issue and saying, okay, it's not eviction, it is directing you into where you should be and allowing that property to be better used. So in my view, it may seem overly simplified, but it is really saying, look at the distressed properties. I've said government has a role to play buying the properties at a fraction of the value because the banks would rather get rid of them than to hold them. So you have an ability to negotiate. Get construction going again by redeveloping them because each of them is going to need repairs, maintenance, and things to bring them back to the livable standard, and then get all of the title deeds and administration and then put it back into the long list that we're saying are awaiting homes. So for me, clear the backlog. I am always disappointed when I hear government almost blasting, look at me building a new housing development on Crown land, but you haven't addressed the backlog. So are you increasing the problem? Because you're putting inventory that you haven't yet addressed. So when you think about just a normal shop, right? Is it good that you have a warehouse full of older products and you're bringing in all the new, because you just have a lag on your capital, working capital, etc. And that's the economy. It's not, I know some will say you're biased, you're a bank, but I'll say to you this much, that the banks are only fiduciary agents for you and your brothers, sisters, children, money that you deposit into the bank or you invest as a shareholder. So the reality is it's your money that's being tied up with someone else's loan. And if you say you can open that up by doing other things, it's not seeing the bank as an institution, but seeing it as your money that you just hired someone to manage.
You know, I appreciate your perspective, and it really speaks to, I know a number of young people who want to buy homes, they want to take out mortgages. It seems out of reach. A lot of people are deciding to rent. There's the rental properties, the short-term rentals. It's kind of creating somewhat of a high price in the market. Do you see that as a major problem?
Yeah, we do need to address that, right? And to the point, just with the younger persons, they're suffering the whole adage, a few bad apples spoil it for the bunch, right? Because the trepidation that the financial system is exhibiting towards young persons is because those who went before them that are not honoring their commitments. As it relates to the pricing, we have, governments have this fallacy that they could control pricing. You can't. But what we have to be more mindful of is how do we put people into the mindset? So speaking again to some of the older persons who were there, they started very young by a piece of property. They started, their first home as a multifamily. So you mentioned rent. So they lived in a smaller unit whilst they rented 2 other units. Then as they built capital, they moved up. I think sometimes our generational shift has become a bit more microwave and immediacy. So we see what the older person has, and we want that today. Not realizing that actually they probably started in a 2-bedroom apartment, or 2-bedroom duplex that they were in, and then moved into the home that you see. So we immediately want to rush into the townhouse that says, we are keeping up with the Joneses.
We made it.
And sometimes we look at the areas, and that's where crime has a significant one, because the viewpoint is I need to be in a gated community, or I need to be in something that's locked off. And societally, that is an indictment, because really it shouldn't matter in terms of location from a safety standpoint. It may be in terms of aesthetics and how close I am to the beach and all that. But when we now start having to make decisions that say my safety says I can't or don't want to live here, that's a problem that the government has a direct impact on.
And I'm glad you mentioned the pathway that some of the older generation took, because I remember family members, friends who, they did the same thing. They had a duplex or a triplex, they rented, and they built their castle brick by brick. And now
some of them literally did it by their hand, meaning that, again, the younger generation don't see that sometimes it was the weekend where them family members come together, buying blocks. Used to be a case of beer in the middle of that somewhere, but persons were mixing cement, laying foundation, laying blocks, and then when you got to a certain point and you needed the skilled, super skilled labor, then you went to it. So, like I said, sometimes it's one of those where we have to decide, is it an easy path? And the reality is, nothing that is worthwhile is easy.
And when you get to the finish line and you're standing up in your castle and you ain't got no mortgage to worry about, that's what it's worth, right?
Well, that's the one. And I say to them, you know how many persons don't have furniture for the first few ones? They get a bed so that they could sleep.
That's it.
They have a kitchen so they could cook. And you build piece by piece. And so it's a matter of saying, well, what do you see? Don't look at the end result. Look at the ways to get there. So, but equally, the financial institutions have a role to play, because we can be condemned for the fact that our financial literacy programs, our education, our engagement with persons see it as, I go to the institution and I get a no. And it shouldn't be that. It should be, not at this time for these reasons. If you do these things and you come back, this is how you will be successful. And if we get into that dialogue, then persons will certainly be more palatable and understanding.
There you go. The banks are your friend, right? We want to,
your money.
All right. We want to shift gears a bit. So IMF made a recommendation recently to raise VAT, which that made everybody's hair stand up on their head. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I use the word tomfoolery amongst our political leaders when they responded to the IMF report. The VAT comment was one line in a much broader concluding statement. It was not even the full report. Government comes out immediately in a panic. We are not even contemplating it. Why did you have to respond to that? The reality was we've received the concluding statement. We are awaiting the full report. We will digest all of its recommendations and we will have a comprehensive statement. The opposition, the economy is tanking out. It did not say that. It spoke to the fact that there are certain improvements, but we have headwinds and things that we need to be mindful of. It spoke about pension reform. It spoke about personal income taxes. It spoke about employment and better investment in tourism, if we're going to say that that's the major economy. It spoke about debt management, the Fiscal Responsibility Council. It had a whole depth of knowledge that you could glean from it. And when I say knowledge, not saying you adopt all of it, but I go back. When there is no plan, there's a void, and so any statement fills it. So why do we think we had that overreaction? Because we didn't have something in place that already spoke to it. And so when the IMF said it, everyone saw, well, if we didn't have anything else, it must be what the IMF says. And the government can't be so arrogant as to believe just because you say, I'm not taking the advice of the IMF, people trust that. And the reason being is because you didn't tell me what you were doing before the IMF said it. So how do I know you have a plan that is separate and apart? And I go back, National Development Plan that has so many of the planks and components. But the IMF statement I felt was, in a long time, one of the most balanced. It says there are positive trends, but things we need to put in place to create buffers and resiliency. And it gave recommendations on different ways of doing it. And yes, we can look at them, adopt them, accept them, reject them, but we need to have our own plan.
You know, once again, I always appreciate your perspective. You know, if you're just kind of reading the news, you would have gotten into a panic, right?
Exactly.
And not everybody's reading these reports, and so we appreciate persons like yourself breaking it down for us, right?
I think it's important.
National Development Plan is what's needed. We got to have a roadmap, or other people can come tell us what to do.
As they say, if you don't know where you're going, how you know when you get there?
Well, Brother Bo, we always appreciate you being here on the show, always bringing a unique perspective, cutting right to the core, and being very solutions
Always
oriented.
appreciated to be here.
We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
How important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
That is going to do it for us today on Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope you enjoyed beating up with us dead early, kicking off your weekend, the last Friday of the month. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We had a great show today, didn't we?
We did. So much fun. So many great guests. So many events going on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of things to do. You know, and good job. First show in, right? Yeah. We enjoy having you in the show, Tommy. And we look forward to being back here on Monday.
That's right. Bright and early.
Bright and early, dead early. What you got up this weekend?
You know what? There's the Thanksgiving. There's the other Thanksgiving family dinner.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'll be doing that this weekend.
But whatever you guys do this weekend, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you be your brother and your sister's keeper. Do something nice for somebody. Remember, everybody carrying things. So just be mindful that somebody might just need a hug or a kind word or a dollar. I need a dollar. Someone give me a dollar. Appreciate y'all. See y'all on Monday. See y'all at Afro Groups tomorrow night. 4 Walls, the best Afro beats party in the country. We're going to have African mood, food, music, dancing. See y'all at 4 Walls on Village Road, right?
That's right. Sounds great.
There you go. See y'all Monday.